I think people who are standing behind pulpits wield a lot of power, a lot of influence. And I think when people like that tell people in their congregations that gay people are an abomination and God hates gay people and gay people can't be reasoned with, apparently reasoned out of being who they are, and that they should be put in concentration camps, more or less, or the government should just kill them. These religious leaders who lead the tide of hate against one group of people can cause a lot of damage. And this is a really good example. And the guy that talks about this in this story says exactly what I think. So I'm going to go ahead and just play this story.
Moses refers to himself as a radical religious person who is with the Black Hebrews. And he just pleaded guilty to killing a 4-year-old and a woman that he was living with. He killed the 4-year-old because he thought he was gay. We have a local news report on this. Let's watch and we'll discuss.
Klein says Jaden Higginbotham was the only child who lived with the group who wasn't fathered by Moses. Prosecutors say Moses told Sis to get rid of the boy and became angry when he heard Higginbotham hit another child on the bottom. Klein says based on the action, Moses believed 4-year-old Higginbotham was homosexual.
In that religious belief of this organization, homosexuality was frowned upon.
Klein says Moses took Higginbotham to the garage, played the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, and shot him.
So this isn't just about the kid being possibly gay. I don't even know what it means for a 4-year-old to be gay. Of course, this guy's crazy. He's got the multiple women that he's living with. He believes he's a Black Hebrew. And he's probably most upset that the kid is not his, and that creates some sort of problem for him in his mental state. Right. Now, having said that, it does give him an excuse, right? And so we think we're getting much better in getting gay rights for Americans. And then you'll see people make the argument, well, gays are different. Don't hate the sinner, but hate the sin. Their lifestyle is horrible, this, that, the other thing. And you know what? That has consequences. And sometimes a 4-year-old gets shot in the head because a guy uses that as an excuse to kill him. And says, oh yeah, I thought he was gay, so what am I going to do? It says in my religious text that gay is wrong, so I killed him. Look, this is real stuff. And this is what I mean by politics isn't just games. It isn't like, oh, okay, who's going to be better at this game? Republicans or Democrats, conservatives or liberals. Gay people get attacked in this country all the time. This just happens to be an incredibly stark case of it. And it's just so sad to look at that kid and know that hatred that had bubbled up in this country. And all of those pastors that we showed you over the last week that railing against gays and how we should lock them up in pens and some of them just saying the government should kill them, etc. Well, sometimes it actually affects people, and they actually do kill gay people. And in this case, a 4-year-old, and God knows whether he was gay or not gay or who cares, but he was killed anyway because of that climate and culture of hatred that was built around this issue.
Hard to follow that guy. He said it exactly the way I think. I think the people who are standing behind the pulpits claiming to, first of all, you're talking to a bunch of sheep who believe you. They look to you to tell them what their imaginary deity wants, okay? And they believe that you're their religious leader. So if you're a bigot and you don't like people because you're a bigot, and you have a 2,000-year-old book that's about as true as Harry Potter, or has about as much evidence to back it up as Harry Potter, and they're convinced that is the actual word and wishes of their God, and you're up there saying that, pointing out this really despicably hateful book called Leviticus. You're quoting from that book saying that gays are an abomination because Leviticus says so. Written by, I'm sure, whatever. Their bigots existed 2,000 years ago too, and funny thing how the bigots look to other bigots for... Anyway, it's a book, and the little boy is dead now because somebody was a religious leader or there's a bunch of religious leaders right now telling people that this is what God wants, and that gays are an abomination, and that it's okay to hate gays, and it's okay to attack gays, and it's okay for little kids to be bullied on it at school if they're gay. You know, you actually want the religious freedom for those kids to, or the freedom of speech or whatever for those kids. You know, as long as it's about religion, it's okay for them to be bullies. Anyway, I just think it's sick and sad that a little boy is dead. And this is not the only, like this guy says, there's a lot of people every day because of these religious pastors and whatevers that stand holier than thou behind their pulpits and want to point fingers and hate and use this book that, I'm sorry, I look at as an ugliness in the world as justification to hate. I just think it's wrong. I've said it before, I'll say it again.